So I want to talk about two things today. I want to talk about how we were able to book over 1,000 calls with this one very simple strategy, over 1,000 qualified sales calls. It's for our own agency, and this is the main strategy we were using, right? So this is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Also going to give you a quick story on how we were able to come up with this strategy and explain the thesis and everything. And I'm gonna give you exactly the game plan on what you need to do to create a strategy into your own company, right? So if you run an agency, if you run a consulting business, if you run a coaching business, this is gonna be applicable. So essentially, what we are running and what we have been running for a while is a DM setting strategy, essentially focused around pitching people, not really pitching people straight off the bat, but getting them to give us the permission so that we can pitch them, right? This is essentially what we have been running. All right, so there are a couple of things that I want to talk about here, how we were able to come up with this. Essentially, well, of course, the thesis, I was a part of Easy Grow. If you guys know Charlie Morgan, I was going through his program, I was going through his course, and this is where I learned about this. But essentially, the story behind this, the story behind this strategy is very simple, right? So the original story is the story of the Trojan horse, right? So how the Greeks were able to ambush their enemies with the Trojan horse. They presented it as a gift. It was not really a gift. It was just a fucking, it was a war strategy that they've used. But essentially, they gave their enemies this gift of a Trojan horse. And what they did afterwards is they had their soldiers in that Trojan horse. And then they ambushed their enemy once they were let into the gate, right? And we're doing the same thing when it comes to outreach right here. Essentially, what we're doing is we're giving out a message where we're essentially just asking them, as giving them this Trojan horse, just asking them, if I can send over this many clients, if I can send over this many appointments, whatever your offer is, would you be okay with me sending over some more info? And if they say yes, this is very important. So if they say yes, they're okay with more info, which most people are not even going to reply. This is just the nature of outreach. Like when you're sending 100 DMs, 10 people are going to reply perhaps, and out of those 10 people, 5 are going to be interested, let's say, okay? Especially Instagram and LinkedIn outreach. It's a little bit different when it comes to cold email. So when we're talking about this, what do we do afterwards? What do we do after they give us the permission? What I would do and what I typically do is we have a Loom AI business plan. It's very simple. You just buy it for like $20 a month. And then you can just record a VSL only once, put it in Loom, and then for every single prospect that replies to your message, your Trojan horse message positively, you just pitch them using that Loom, right? And you can personalize the audio variable based on their name, right? So you can literally turn John into Alex, Alex into Thomas, Thomas into Anne, whatever the hell you need, right? Whoever is the prospect that replies to you. You can go a step further and record a personal video for every single prospect, also using Loom. This is how we would typically do it. And the way you structure this Loom after you send this initial message is just, first of all, acknowledge and respect that they even gave you the permission to pitch them. And then what I would do afterwards is I would just pivot into the results. So talk about the results, the case studies, what we were able to accomplish. When you're finished with that, I would get into the strategy that you used to do that, right? But keep it at high level. So don't get too specific on what you're doing exactly. Just keep it high level, right? It's very important that you do this. So that's one thing. This is the Loom that we send after they give us the positive reply. Now we have a couple of things. When it comes to the initial message, you want to keep it friendly. You want to have a strong risk reversal on top of that, right? So let's say you have a guarantee where you give them their money back. Say that. Emphasize that. Why not? It's very good. This is another thing. Of course, there are a lot of nuances and a lot of things that you have to take into account when you're doing this strategy, like the back end, the infrastructure, how you're replying to these leads, how you're managing your deliverability when it comes to Instagram so that you don't get your accounts restricted. Same goes for LinkedIn. You don't want to get your accounts restricted on that end as well. But that's mainly it. That's what we were doing. It's the Trojan horse strategy. Do you have anything more to say? I think that's basically it, right? So if you're an agency owner, if you're a consultant, if you're a B2B coach, and you would like to implement a similar strategy just like this one into your own company, of course you can do it yourself. Always feel free. We have custom deals with a lot of platforms. We can run outreach systems at a super big scale. with a lower budget than you would normally need for the systems. And we do mainly take the revenue share, so that's the cool part about partnering up with us. So yeah, if you are one of these people, I would suggest you book a call with me. You can go into the description, just fill out the information, book a call with me there. You can always run this yourself. It's going to be a bit more expensive, but if you're not looking to scale that much and you just need a couple more appointments, it's going to be the way, right? So you can go through my YouTube. I explain this strategy in detail in my other videos. I have a specific video about this. I posted it a couple of months ago. And yeah, that's it. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, whatever you want, comment, and I'll see you in